Hello, my name is Jacob Smith, and this will be an analysis of social psychological variables. This presentation will discuss how they relate to the Jonestown Massacre. To begin, I will discuss conformity. Conformity is adjusting our behavior or group thinking to coincide with group standard. Essentially, this is when a person forfeits their individuality to align themselves more with the members of their group. Obviously, this case applies to the members of the People's Temple with Jonestown as well. They were made to believe many things that weren't true by Jim Jones and molded into one cohesive group that was taught to put the church and Jones above themselves, basically removing any sense of their personality and self-identities. This picture is from the movie Equilibrium. Essentially, the movie Equilibrium is about a society that is much like a cult where everyone's self-identities are moved and they're made to obviously wear the same things, act the same way, and believe the same things. All right. Next, I will discuss the factors of conformity. The first being when we know others in our group observe our behavior. So to me, this pretty much means we're more likely to conform to the group when those in our group are monitoring our behavior, making sure that we're aligned with the group values. In the documentary, a woman mentions wanting to leave but not doing so because she was scared that her own son or husband might report her disloyalty to the church, going as far to describe the members of the church as the Gestapo, which clearly means that they're very intense and very passionate about watching each other and making sure they do what they need to do. And so making sure they act accordingly. The picture is from the movie, or was from the novel 1984, in which a dictator known as Big Brother is constantly watching the citizens of a society, making sure that they're doing conforming and doing the things that he wants them to do. This reminded me a lot of the situation with the Jonestown Massacre because Jones saw like this Big Brother character, and the cameras would be a lot like the other members of the church watching each other. The next factor, which seemed to be a big thing for Jones, was making people feel incompetent or insecure. So Jones, to me, this means being publicly shamed and changing like the way you act so you can kind of fit in to like what everyone else is doing. And I have a clip that I chose from the video that kind of describes conformity. I don't believe there'll be sound, so pretty much this woman is describing.
Once the going gets rough,
Oh,
don't jump out immediately.
oh, sorry, not. All right. This man begins to describe being tormented by Jones and how he would be forced to fight and just be ridiculed for not doing anything wrong. And this man is also saying the same thing.
A child in a dysfunctional family.
She's kind of also saying the same thing, that they were forced to do ridiculing things.
And he sat down next to
Yeah. So that's kind of the clip I had chosen. And so next I will be talking about group polarization, which is when the beliefs and attitudes we bring into the group grow stronger as we discuss them with like-minded others. So essentially this is a lot like when an organization is strengthened by their shared ideals and values, like in their members, and they're very passionate about what the group stands for, and what like things they want to do, things like that. So the picture I'd chosen was a picture from a Donald Trump rally, and you can clearly see that they all have their finish the wall signs. So they're all very passionate about the wall that he wants to build, and his ideas draw large crowds in, and they all agree and strengthen their arguments off them. Ooh, I can't. All right. So, lastly, I will be discussing cognitive dissonance, which is having inconsistent thoughts, or beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude changes. So to me, this is a lot like seeing and not believing, or like being delusional or in denial. Essentially, like when you know something that just isn't quite right, but you choose to not like perceive it that way. And then so ways we deal with this are by changing our behaviors or beliefs, learning new information, or reducing the importance of our beliefs. Essentially, meaning that we adapt to believe what we want almost, or what others tell us to kind of explain it, like to kind of explain what we should believe, and that kind of puts people at ease at point like at times. And so a clip I have for this is also from the documentary. I believe it's right about here. It's when they're talking about relocating, and that like they didn't quite know what they were getting into, but a lot of them still went anyways. Um, oh, sorry, it's a little bit further back here. This man is describing going there and seeing like the place for the first time. What's coming up next is an interview, or not quite an interview, a video testimonial that he kind of made, encouraging the other members of the church to come. There's no sound, but even without the sound, you can tell that he very clearly isn't happy to be there, and he just is being forced to say what like is like being told him almost. And to me, for someone to see this and believe that he actually truly is happy there would be a major sign of cognitive dissonance, and I don't believe that I would want to go. And a lot of the other people see this next video, I guess, and believe it. So that kind of is like goes back to what reinforces what like to change our beliefs based off cognitive dissonance. So, in conclusion, I did learn a lot, and I definitely learned a lot of new terms and concepts that I was not aware of before this. So, I'm glad that I have learned about the Jonestown Massacre.